Hi, I'm Mike. It's the last week of Farmers Market, and today we take a look at how Farmers Market changes for winter, and some of the numbers representing how the Farmers Market helps the ranch and impacts our entire community. It's all coming up today on our Wyoming Life. For the last 14 weeks, we've spent each of our Saturdays at Farmers Market. Now, it doesn't sound like much of a commitment. After all, it's only 4 hours a week that you have to hang out in a booth, talk, and sell your products to customers. Truth is that we have hundreds of hours into Farmers Market before we even set foot under a tent and meet our first customer of the day. But it's what happens in public that people see, and the payoff that affects people's lives. Thanks for joining us today as we continue to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Today, we're digging deep into our farmers market, how it evolves through the year, and how it impacts our community. We invite you to subscribe and come along as we bring you all aspects, hey kitty, of the ranch, from livestock to machinery and even the gardens. This is our 9th year of attending farmers market. Over the years, Erin has gone from a very small vendor with only a few leftovers from her family garden to a full-fledged market gardener and market manager.
I think part of my success that I've had at Farmers Market is because I did start small and it wasn't an overwhelming task in the beginning. It was something that just kind of came to us as leftovers and our family gardens, and it allowed me to kind of dip my toe into it and see if it was something that I enjoyed. And just almost every year there's been, additional garden space or another high tunnel, or we added eggs, or we added beef, or we added pork. It was something that happened very gradually. If I had started and the first year said I want 15,000 square feet and 2 high tunnels, and we're gonna raise beef and we're gonna raise pork and we're gonna have chickens, I would have never been able to succeed because I would have been so overwhelmed from the very beginning. It went from being just something to do to keep me somewhat busy and to make a little bit of money into becoming my full-time job. And it's taken several years for me to say that I'm a market gardener.
Farmers market may be a full-time job for Erin, not so much for me. I already have a couple full-time jobs, but I help out where I can. And most of the time, market takes up part of my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Picking begins on Thursday for a Saturday market. Erin surveys what she has in the garden and what's available for harvest. We grow such a variety that not everything is ready at one time, and that keeps us moving through the different crops throughout the year, always offering something new and fresh. Today, it's a nice day. Temperatures are in the 40s, but more importantly, the sun is shining, which makes all the difference. We systematically work our way through each garden, almost a full acre in total, and pick what is ready. From cabbage to beets to cauliflower, it's time to start picking everything that'll not make it through the cold temperatures that we are expecting this weekend, and we can get it off to customers.
This is our second year doing year-round growing and having winter crops, and it's sad to see some stuff go. Tomato crop wasn't a huge success for us this year, but crops like tomatoes and rainbow chard and a lot of our outside stuff it's time for it to be done and to let it rest for the winter. But inside the high tunnels, it's full of new growth and new potential, and there's carrots coming up and scallions, and lettuce is looking really good, and it's really nice to see the transition between summer and winter, but know that although there's a lot of stuff to do to clean up the summer gardens and the summer crops, we're not done growing. It's just a transition from one season to the next.
Inside the high tunnel, and growing like a weed, which what it may actually be, is kale. Outside it may only be 40 degrees, but inside it's almost 90. The single layer of plastic on the tunnel keeps the warmth of the sun in, at least during the day, and keeps the kale, lettuce, spinach, radishes, whatever else is in here, thriving all winter long. Once all the veggies for the day are in the shop, then it's time to clean, wash, and sanitize everything and get it ready for market. Farmers Market week continues, and although Friday is a baking day for Erin, it's my day to kind of catch up on some stuff, pick up some slack, make sure kids are picked up from school, and of course, Lincoln is entertained throughout the day. Erin bakes a ton for market, and that lends to our whole philosophy on the ranch, diversification. Even at our farmers market booth, we want you to be able to get the best of both worlds. Yes, we have fresh garden veggies, but we also have the sweets and the baked goods. That'll offset all those good calories. Before we are done on Friday, we have one more chore to take care of for this weekend's farmers market. With it being the last market of the season, Erin usually likes to end on a high note, and this week we're offering free pumpkin painting for kids at market. Not only does this bring in new customers to market, but it's also a way to give back to the community. 150 pumpkins are loaded into the truck to take to this week's market, and we get them all moved in ahead of time. Usually, market takes place outside in the Gillette College parking lot. But as winter moves in, the college is nice enough to let us move inside, and all these pumpkins are taken in. Tables are arranged, tarps are spread out to get ready for an onslaught of painters tomorrow. It's now the last day of market, and at 5 a.m., I roll out of bed to start getting loaded up and ready to go. Everything we have gets loaded into Erin's farmers market truck, a 1998 GMC box truck, a $3,000 buy that has paid for itself over and over again. The temperature outside this morning is 45 degrees, and that's actually going to be our high temperature for the day, as a front will be moving in and cooling things off and bringing with it some snow by later this morning. After we're all loaded up, then it's off we go, pushing the truck to its top speed of 55 miles an hour for the half-hour drive to market.
Market season just isn't over. We get a nice little break here, but now we just transition into our once-a-month market, and it's really nice to be able to connect with our customers throughout the winter and to bring them the crops that we can still raise in the winter and provide them access to our local beef and our local pork.
It's not long before winter rears its head again and the snow starts to fall. But that doesn't stop our customers from rolling in, and a lot of them. To date, this year, more than 8,000 people have visited our farmers market, including our own kids. One great thing about the market is that there's a family aspect to it. Many vendors bring their kids to help, and although ours are too young to help much, whenever there is pumpkin painting, you're going to find them there. And soon, it's all over. The packing begins, and it's time to say goodbye for another season.
Erin, are you glad this is our last weekly farmers market?
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm ready for a break. I will miss everybody. I'll miss the vendors. I'll miss the customers. But I'm ready for a break. And I think the weather's telling us that market season is over.
Last year, farmers market injected almost $75,000 into the local economy. This year, although the numbers aren't quite in yet, we hope to beat it. With SNAP and WIC, they've also helped hundreds of families with fresh veggies, and through the Share the Harvest program, they've donated almost $3,000 in local food to our Council of Community Services for the needy. That's something to be proud of. On our side of things, farmers market, between veggies, baked goods, beef, and pork, has brought us almost $15,000 into the ranch. That's why it's so important. Cattle markets fluctuate. They go up, they go down. One year, a calf might be worth almost $3 a pound. The next, it might only be worth $1.50. That kind of fluctuation can cut the ranch's income in half. And through diversification, we can keep the ranch going. which is what it's all about. The most important character in our story is the ranch. Without it, there would be none of this, and the tradition, the history, and the story behind it would be gone if we weren't here. Behind every single fence is a story. This just happens to be ours. Thanks for coming along today. I know it got a bit cold. Most of us don't want to see that white stuff flying around yet, and I get it. I'm not ready for it yet either. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be dealing with it as we continue into winter here on the ranch. Soon calves are going to be leaving. We're going to be working a lot with the cows here in the next few weeks, and I really hope that you can continue with us as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Subscribe now and click the bell button so you don't miss a thing. And if you don't mind, do me a favor and click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. It really means a lot to us. There's lots more on the way from our side of the fence, so climb on over and hang out a while. Until I see you again, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.